Hello, St. Anne Parish. How great to be with you outside without a coat or anything. It's a beautiful week in terms of temperature here, and good to meet with you to talk about a few things, look ahead to summer, review some more immediate things that are happening, but also to point out our 4 lonely daffodils, right? The only flowers in our prayer garden at this point. There are a few other things I think will be shooting up soon, but right now we have these 4 daffodils which may not last that much longer, so I thought we better do this week if we want the daffodils to be part of the quick things as well. Just a few things right off the bat. First of all, thanks to folks who donated items for our Share Sunday collection for May to benefit the Neighbor's Place. We had 2 weeks of some really nice collections of things, so thanks for those who were attentive to that. We have a community meal coming up on Thursday, June 2nd. So this is something that prior to the pandemic was a regular activity for lots of folks. We're a good group of folks in our parish. I want to say there were lots of them. It was a good, stable, faithful group. And we are reviving that, and so we need people to help prepare the meal, serve the meal, clean up, eat along with others as part of the meal. So that's Thursday, June 2nd. There's information in this email as well as in the worship aid to guide you, to help you know who to call and how to get on track with the community meal. Also, in terms of charity and trying to figure out a better way, our new neighbors from Afghanistan are going to have driver's licenses soon. And that means we need cars for them, mainly to drive to work. But, you know, there are other things that the grocery store that they call upon others to help them with now that they would be able to do on their own. Getting established is tough, and getting established enough to buy a car is even tougher. So we're not necessarily saying, do you have a car you want to donate, or do you want to make a big contribution to help them buy a car? Are there ideas you have in mind as to how we might proceed, or our teams might proceed in helping our families procure a car? If you have some ideas in that regard, respond to this email and we'll get you into the conversation as to how to best equip our new neighbors with cars. Right on this side of me is obviously the south entrance and the church, where a lot of activity is underway these days for our reimagining project. A lot of it having to do with painting right now. The church is just covered with plastic, and it almost looks like a gloomy horror movie kind of setting, because there's this plastic hanging and it's covered with, some of it's got paint all over it, and it's just really a kind of a strange environment. But that will be giving way soon to installing light fixtures and speakers and flooring, the wood flooring in the altar area, the wood panel that will go over the cross behind the altar. So lots of things are going to be happening in the next few weeks. Well, they will have to be happening in the next few weeks because we are getting close to our dedication. Bishop Callahan will be here, according to the plan, at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, June 19th. So please have that on your calendar. This is, hopefully all of us can be present for that. We'll find room for everybody. Sunday, June 19th, there will be one Mass that morning at 9:30, so also be attentive to that. There won't be an 8:30 Mass or a 10:30 Mass. There will be one Mass at 9:30 on Sunday. The idea is that we want as many people as possible to be present for that. There will still be Masses on Saturday afternoon and Sunday night, but our primary Mass of that weekend, obviously, the dedication Mass at 9:30 on June 19th. And we call it a dedication Mass because during that Mass, what's really, in addition to the bishop just coming to celebrate with us having in our renovated church, he will dedicate the new altar that will be so prominent in that new church. That's really the primary sacramental element of this, is dedicating this altar. And while it isn't a sacrament to dedicate an altar, there are very clear sacramental images or symbolism that is part of dedicating an altar, and we'll talk more about that in weeks ahead. But to have that on our calendars, Sunday, May 19th. And then the day before that, will be our Summer Jam Parish Festival on Saturday, June 18th. Raffle tickets we've talked about are available to sell, and other information regarding Summer Jam is beginning to appear in the email, in the worship aid, various places as well. So have that on your calendars. 2 days to celebrate as a parish. Summer Jam on June 18th, and then the dedication and reception on Sunday, June 19th. On the evening of Saturday, June 18th, in anticipation of the dedication, we will have evening prayer, Vespers, in church. So that will be our first worship experience in the renovated church. We won't be using the altar because it's not dedicated yet, but we'll pray, have some time to just get used to that space, and anticipate the bigger celebration on Sunday. So that evening prayer on June 18th will be at 7 p.m. in church. So we can take a little break from Summer Jam and come in and pray, and then go back to wrap things up there. So, Summer Jam kind of gets us in mind of summer, and I want to talk about a couple other summer things which are on this sheet of paper that blew away. First of all, our summer youth mission trip is June 25th to July 2nd in Princeton, Illinois. There is still room for a few folks to join us for that. Please be in touch with John Schmidt. You can respond via this email if you want to do that. That's just for adults who would want to be part of the team, but also primarily want to encourage teens who might want that experience. So if we can give you some more information about that, check the website or respond to this email. Then for younger kids, grades like K to 5, the God's Big Beautiful World Vacation Bible Camp. It's a long name. God's Big Beautiful World Vacation Bible Camp is coming up July 25th to the 29th. It'll be here at St. Anne's. We have lots of great facilities that we can use inside and out, including the renovated church. So parents, grandparents, think about that, and it's time, and registration is underway for that summer Bible camp. Also in June 27th, is our parish golf outing at Greenwood Hills Country Club. Details about that at the website and in the bulletin or worship aid as well. So get that on your radar screen. Monday, June 27th, the parish golf outing, and we'll have more information about that very soon. Also want you to know about Newman Catholic Schools offers a day program called Summer Camp. For children of all school ages, K to 12, you can find more information about that at newmancatholicschools.com/summercamp. Anything else regarding summer? I think that takes care, well, that doesn't take care of summer. That just gets us started in summer, but some important things to know about and hopefully become engaged in. Pastoral Council nominations are being accepted. We have a fairly significant group, I think maybe 6 Pastoral Council members who have been serving now, well, since long before I came to St. Anne's, and so they will be leaving the council now, and so we're looking for people to take their place, and those nominations can be sent to me. Also, kind of the main connector will be Evie Nielsen, who is one of the departing council members. Her email will be in this email, but you can also just forward it to me, and I'll forward it on to Evie, and she'll collect the nominations. So you can nominate yourself if you're interested in serving on the council. We meet about 9 times a year. We meet for 1 hour. Our goal is to always meet for no more than an hour, because nothing can come from meeting longer than an hour that can't be done in an hour. So that's our goal, is to always meet for an hour. The council is the primary consultative body for myself in terms of kind of getting a handle on what people are talking about, what's going on in the parish, but then also to review ideas for new programs and issues and things that come up. So I've always had a great pastoral councils, and I trust that we will have new members that will continue, hopefully, that experience that I've had in the past. If you're interested in learning more, you can also talk to Evie or talk to myself. The other pastoral council members' names are in the worship aid, so you can always check with any of them. If there's someone you think, so you can nominate yourself, if you're interested, or if there's someone who you think would be good to serve on the Pastoral Council, you can talk to them or just send us their name and we'll check with them. Obviously, before we would put them on the Pastoral Council, we want to make sure they're willing to do that. If we can wrap up the nominations by June 5th, which is Pentecost, that would be great, and that's kind of a fitting time in terms of the calendar to kind of conclude that consultation on the solemnity of Pentecost. Speaking of which, we do this if we have more nominations than positions available. We will choose the members of the council by drawing names, which has an ancient scriptural tradition. On Saturday, we celebrate the feast of St. Pius, or St. Matthias, the apostle. And he was not among the original 12, obviously, that Jesus chose. If you look in the Gospels, there's no mention of St. Matthias. But in the Acts of the Apostles, after the resurrection, those who remained realized that with the departure of Judas and his betrayal, there was a 12th spot that needed to be filled. And so they identified 2 worthy candidates and drew lots, and Matthias was chosen from the 2 to take that 12th spot. So drawing lots for Pastoral Council seems like a very apostolic, historic way of selecting those members. So if we are so blessed that we have more than open spots, we will draw lots to fill those spots, just as the apostles did with choosing Saint Matthias. I want to conclude with a couple words on respect to life, and then also about shepherds. So obviously there has been a lot in the news, as I referenced in my homily this past Sunday and as I address in a worship aid column this week, a lot in the news regarding last week's developments in Washington, the leak of the Supreme Court draft decision, and then what all that means. First of all, of course, the draft is a draft and the final decision hasn't been made, but it seems very likely that the Supreme Court will, at long last, be overturning the Roe v. Wade decision, which legalized abortion. Others can deal with all the political and legal and whatever ramifications of that. As I indicated, as Bishop Laurie, who heads the Bishop's Committee on Pro-Life Activities, has indicated, this means we need to really be up to the plate, ready to promote mothers who are approaching pregnancy with great fear, trepidation, uncertainty for whatever reason. We need to be ready to support them. We need to be ready to support mothers and fathers who will now be bringing children into the world that they might have otherwise chosen not to. So we need to be ready to help them to fulfill their responsibilities. That's what it's going to mean to be pro-life now. I don't think it can be as simple as just saying, I vote for pro-life candidates. We need to be really clear on what that means to be pro-life. It isn't merely a matter of opposing abortion. It means, how do we sustain life? How do we uphold the dignity of life? How do we support life? And I think many in the church have been ready and have been on track with that for a long time. But I think we've also put a lot of energy into the political aspect of abortion. And now we're going to need to be very more all-encompassing in terms of how we advocate as pro-life people and what that means as we go forward. To that end, the bishops are encouraging people to fast and pray on Friday of this week, which is the memorial of Our Lady of Fatima, remembering Mary's appearance to the children at Fatima. So Catholics are encouraged to fast on Friday and to pray for the various intentions that I'll review in a minute, and then also to pray the rosary specifically on that day, which our parishioners do at the end of the 7 a.m. Mass. So if you'd want to join us for Mass at 7 a.m. on Friday in McKillop Hall and then stay to pray the rosary focusing on these particular intercessions. Certainly that is something the bishops are encouraging, and I would encourage you to do that as well. So our prayer as we gather on Friday will be for our nation, for the integrity of our judicial system, and that all branches of government are dedicated to seeking the common good and protecting the dignity and rights of the human person from conception to natural death. Praying for the overturning of Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood v. Casey in this decision that is now pending, Dobbs v. Jackson. Praying for the conversion of hearts and minds of those who advocate for abortion. Praying for a new commitment to building an America where children are welcomed, cherished, and cared for, where mothers and fathers are encouraged and strengthened, and where marriage and the family are recognized and supported as the true foundations of a healthy and flourishing society. And praying for the intercession of Mary and guidance as the Church continues to walk with mothers and families in need and continues to promote alternatives to abortion and seeks to create a culture of life. You can find that complete text will be in the email. It's on Facebook as well. And again, our prayer, our Mass for these intentions will be on Friday at 7 a.m., followed by the Rosary with those intentions. In conclusion, I want to offer some further reflection following up on Sunday's Gospel of the Good Shepherd, where Jesus says, my people hear my voice, or my sheep hear my voice and follow me. This is a prayer. These are reflections by Father Austin Fleming, who I've drawn from before. He just has some really nice insights in calling upon God's shepherding to guide and encourage us. One thing I wanted to say first is in the email there's a video of a massive flock of sheep that I encountered when I was walking the Camino de Santiago in Spain in 2019. So there's a video of that it's kind of fun to watch, and I've included that in this week's email. And so I want to conclude then, maybe as you're watching the email, you can reflect upon some of these prayers, and I'll have a link to this prayer in the email as well. So reflecting on Sunday's Gospel, with that still in our thoughts and in our heart, we offer to the Lord our needs, our prayers, that God may shepherd us through all the ups and downs, the joys and sorrows, the temptations and grace of every day of our lives. Shepherd us, O God, from here to there, from where we are to where we are meant to be, from one moment to the next, from today to tomorrow, from my past to the future. Shepherd us, O God, from yesterday's problems to tomorrow's solutions. Shepherd us, O God, from the memories we are stuck in to the ones we've yet to make. Shepherd us, O God, from all that haunts us from our past to a future we've yet to experience. Shepherd us, O God, from our failing sins and errors to the grace of a new beginning. Shepherd us, O God, from daydreams and fantasies to lives that are real and ours to lead. Shepherd us, O God, far from all our foolish ways and closer to your wisdom's path. Shepherd us, O God, from selfishness and greed to a giving, generous spirit. Shepherd us, O God, from arrogant pride to humble self-knowledge. Shepherd us, O God, from the lies we've come to believe into the truth that sets us free. Shepherd us, O God, from all that's less than pure to what's clear and clean and chaste. Shepherd us, O God, from lazy habits to work that satisfies and serves. Shepherd us, O God, from mindless wandering to paths that you'd have us walk. Shepherd us, O God, from flirting with temptation to doing what is right. Shepherd us, O God, from prejudice and bias to open understanding and acceptance. Shepherd us, O God, from wasting what we have to sharing all that's ours. Shepherd us, O God, from hopelessness and fear to trust and confidence in you. Shepherd us, O God, from feeling sorry for ourselves to gratitude for all we have. Shepherd us, O God, from doubts that cloud our thoughts to faith that fills our souls. Shepherd us, O God, from here to there, from one moment to the next, from today to tomorrow. from our past into our future. Shepherd us, O God, beyond our wants, beyond our fears, from death into life. Amen.